everybody, this is Gretchen Zellick, and I'm here with Annie. Hi, Annie. Um,
Hi.
Today we're speaking to Mindy Mylrea, and I'm really excited. We've been able to track her down, and we're going to talk to her all about her book and her workouts. Let me tell you a little bit about Mindy. She's an international presenter, author, motivational speaker, video personality, CEC provider for ACE and AFAA. She's a creator and the lead talent behind Gliding, Tabata Bootcamp, Extreme HIIT Chaos, and the nonprofit One Day to Wellness, which we'll be talking about later. She's a master trainer and on the pro development team for Schwinn Cycling, Body Bar, and Bosu. She's authored numerous articles. She stars in over 500 instructional videos. That's a lot. And she's the author of the book that we're going to talk about today, The Plant Powered Penis. She's the mom of three boys. She's been married for over 37 years, and we're talking to her today from her fruit and veggie covered RV, traveling worldwide, and she is with her husband, Bruce, and they're spreading the word. And Mindy, I'm so happy to be able to talk to you today. And I've got to fix my lighting here. So there we go.
There you go.
And where are you?
Right now, we are in Southern California in Oceanside. I just got done yesterday leading a program called Awesome Booty, where it was with Len Kravitz and also Trisha Murphy Madden. And we were doing a series. So we did awesome abs and then awesome booty and then awesome arms. And it's really fun to collaborate with these two. And we've led many trainings, and it's a 2 hour program. It's really popular, and we had probably I think it was 250 people
Oh my.
on the program last night. Yeah.
Wow.
I love Len. You guys would be great in a collaboration together. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, he brings in the brains, right? So he's the science, and then we're the application. So he talks, and then we then disseminate the information in real time, so people can really understand it.
That's pretty good.
That's great. So,
Yeah.
Mindy, you have a workout called Fluid Strength. And I just
Mhm.
wanted to hear more about that and how that helps people to enhance their everyday life. What is that?
I created Fluid Strength because I noticed in the fitness industry, especially, we needed more functional movement and movement patterning that replicated how people who live the longest, how they move. So I studied the blue zones. Blue zones are people that live the longest. They're pockets around the world where people are living measurably longer lives and enhanced lives, not just living a life with pills and potions and shakes and in a wheelchair, but really are in their hundreds. They're walking up and down cobblestone streets in Sardinia, Italy, or they're picking vegetables in their garden. So I looked at movements that we do, but maybe in the Western world we're not doing as much of that, and so I replicated a lot of the movements in my Fluid Strength. It's flowing patterns of movement, going from like a standing to a seated to a side lying to a prone, using lower body, upper body, and core, but using it in a way that will then translate into real life.
That's fabulous. I mean, I'm personally, I, I admire so much the research you put into that because I am a functional trainer. I do in-home training and I work with a mostly senior population. And I'm always trying to emulate that. I'm trying to look at what their life consists of and how I can help them improve it by mimicking what they're doing through their life. And the fact that you've gone and done this research on the fluid strength workout is just, it validates what we're trying to do, and it just helps so many people. I just, congratulations on doing that work. It's really
Thank
important
you.
for people. It's
And
great.
I wanted to make sure that people understood what a true regression of an exercise is and a progression. Lots of times we learn something perhaps 15, 20 years ago in our AFA race training, and then we don't progress forward in our own thinking and where the research is going. So that's one thing we did last night. Len disseminated the research of, okay, why did we think that we shouldn't squat below 90 degrees? Where did that even come from? Well, it was a study done in 1961, and it stuck because it landed in Sports Illustrated, and then it then went into the bodybuilding community, and then we just we got it. So looking at things like that and using your brain and saying, does that really make sense? I travel all over the world and I watch people. I'm teaching in Asia. I'm teaching in Bangkok, and I'm seeing these wonderful students just sitting down like in a life squat. They're just in this low squat for an hour, and no knee injuries, no back injuries, no anything. And I'm thinking, we perhaps in our industry are doing maybe a disservice by pigeonholing everybody into this squat. Everyone has a different squat. Everyone's body is different. So we need to look at the individual and look at their whole body, not just one piece or part, but look at the whole.
That's great. And it's so obvious what a great instructor, and you're a fabulous presenter. It's so much fun. I've watched a number of your presentations, but you're also a great author, and that's what we're going to talk about, the plant penis. And what's interesting, Mindy, really is that on Netflix right now, I don't know if you've seen it or not, but there's actually a film on us. It's called The Game Changers.
Oh
And
no, I know the Game Changers.
yeah, and so my
But I
kids,
was writing my book before that came out.
I know,
I
and
was
my
writing, and then when that came out with those boys that ate the plant. So what I'm sorry to hijack your story, but there is a scene where there are these athletes that are eating a regular standard American diet meal, and then their erectile function is checked throughout the night while they're sleeping. And then they eat a plant-based meal, and the same thing happens. The researcher checking their erectile function, and their erectile function is quite a lot more when they're eating the plant-based meal. But I actually was writing my book prior to that coming out.
yeah, so it's a
And
perfect segue to your book. So tell us about.
right, right. So the reason I always wanted to write a book. I've written lots of articles, but I never thought I had something super compelling to discuss. And I didn't want to write a book just to write a book. I wanted to write a book when I had something really to say. And 9 years ago, my husband was diagnosed with advanced stage prostate cancer. And through that process, we've gone through he's had his prostate taken out. He's had 2 rounds of radiation. He's had 2 rounds of hormone treatment that shut off your testosterone, that you have no erectile function whatsoever. And the doctors always pulled me aside and said, get ready, because with all of these treatments, your husband will not have erectile function. Well, the opposite's true. My husband is quite fine and dandy, thank you very much, because of his diet. When you are eating foods that produce nitric oxide in your body, opening up your arteries and veins, your erectile function probably is pretty darn good. When someone goes on a plant-based diet, that's one of the major side effects. The good side effects is that they've got a wild woody hanging on. So I wrote this book because I wanted to explain that what you hear perhaps isn't the case. And if you take matters into your own hands and you eat well and you live well, and I also have a whole relationship section because I've been married to this man for almost 40 years, and we live in a 32-foot RV. We work together, we play together, we've had 3 kids together. We kind of got it down. And then there's a whole recipe section, because one of the things that Bruce and I is we do a cooking course that we teach people how to cook beautiful, wonderful food. And so I've done it from a male perspective, meaning men, not all men, but men sometimes like pizza and lasagna and that sort of food, and burgers. So I've taken all that food and augmented it to a plant-based side of it. So So
So
it's why we get erectile dysfunction. And then also in the book too, I have tips about the tips, and then a research study about the tips. So I talk about personal things. Even though I don't have a penis, I have 3 sons and 3 brothers and a husband, and so I have lots of stories. I say I am the lone vagina in a sea of penises. I have lots of stories. So
that is wonderful. But we'll make sure that we include information on how to get your book afterwards on the video when we're concluding here.
Okay, so Mindy, we asked this question to everybody, and we'd like to know what your advice is for aging enthusiastically, since we're about that at Donuts and Pie.
oh, yes. And I love the name Donuts and Pie. That's adorable. So adorable. Well, I'm turning 60 this year, and I am aging enthusiastically because really there's nothing else that you can do. I mean, what is the what is what's the alternative there? I guess the alternative is to die horribly. My husband and I always laugh. We say, we've been living with prostate cancer for 9 years, right? And we've been living with cancer, living. So you look at you have things thrown at you that are pretty awful, right? And everybody has. And this last year has tested everyone's resolve, everyone's. But you have to look at it like, yeah, it sucks. I got something that sucks, but what are you going to do with it, right? And not like everything is rosy and great and I'm going to put on a happy face, but you have to decide, what am I going to do with this crap, right? And aging, sometimes you got some crap, right? As we age, we maybe have aches and pains, and maybe we don't think, so smartly, or can't think of the right word, or maybe we got some wrinkles on our face, or whatever it is. But you have to look at, oh, and here he comes right now. So you have to look at what is the most important thing for you, and then everything else, it gets shelved, really. And I think that's what it is. I think just, we got stuff, but taking that stuff and what do we do with it? And so Bruce and I, we've decided that we want to live life to the fullest. And what does that mean? That means we don't want to own a home. We want to be able to be free to go wherever we want to be. We also don't want to be restricted by having to make a lot of money, because living in a 32-foot RV, it's paid for. We don't have that many expenses. So that's good, really good. You have to look at what's the most important thing to you. The most important thing to me is to have very low stress, is to have a really fun, cuddly dog, and great food. And when you eat well, Bruce will talk about this, but when you eat well, oh my gosh, your mood just changes. Everything just changes. So it's surrounding yourself with good thoughts, good food, good people, low stress, and chill.
I'm going to tell you, I like surrounding ourselves with you. You're so much fun to talk to, Mindy. Thank you so much. I mean, just really, and we're looking forward to our next interview. Will be with Bruce, but we've been speaking with Mindy Mylrea. You can find her. I think it's onedaytowellness.org, and then your Mindy Mylrea Fitness on Facebook and also on Instagram. And we'll make sure we include that at the end of the video in print so people can copy it down. But Mindy, thank you
Right.
so much. It's really been
Thank
a
you,
Thank
Mindy. It was
you.
great to speak with you. I love your enthusiasm. I love your outlook. I hope everybody watches this and shares it because everybody will benefit from it. It's a booster for the day.
right. And then go find her on YouTube and Facebook, and all her classes and presentations are really fabulous.
Or
Thanks.
maybe you'll see us going down the road in our wellness wagon.
I would love that. We'll look.
Can't miss the wellness wagon.
Thanks, Mindy.
Thanks, gals.
Bye bye.